This is Veda Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Fade Us Sports Podcast. I'm Mike DeMouth Matiso. We have Brandon Cantu, both of us. I'm a four-time bracelet winner. Cantu, how many you have? Two?
Just two, but I got a World Poker Tour as well, Mike.
That's
I
right.
want those as well.
That's right. So I've been out for a few weeks. I had surgery on my left eye, which I'm getting surgery on my right eye in exactly 6 days. So I could see perfect. We put a glass thing back in here, but now I could see out of my eye, and I'm going to be able to literally have no glasses as of next week for the first time in my life since I was 3 years old. So
wow.
Right now we have because I had to pop. This is funny. You guys got to see this. We had to pop the lens out. And I had to put the glass lens in because I don't have any prescription on left eye, and it busted we broke the frame, so I had to glue it together with super glue. So that pops out in 6 days, and I'll be able to not have glasses anymore. So that's where I've been. And the NBA playoffs are in full swing. And Brandon Cantu, I think you have a rant to talk about.
My rant is an unusual one this week, and it's I'm gonna rant because Wemby is just so good. I think everybody knows that follows this that I'm a Portland guy, Northwest sports guy. My Blazers finally made the playoffs, and I actually think we match up really well against them. You know, we've got Klingon, a 7'2" giant, to put on Wemby, but he's just so good. I mean, the guy can shoot. He's doing running 3-pointers and just swishing them like
he might be the second best 3-point shooter in the league after Stephen Curry. Not to mention the fact that anything around the rim. Did you see the slam dunk that he was outside of the frame? He missed it. He missed the dunk, but he grabbed the ball and he somehow missed it. Went to slam it, and outside of the frame, his arms were dunking the ball from outside of the frame. If he stays healthy, which I don't think it's possible without his frame. Either. But if he stays healthy, he will be the greatest player that ever lived.
I agree.
And right now, the Joker is the greatest player who ever lived, and we'll talk about his showing in the fourth quarter last night.
I'm still sick with Jordan, but I don't want to get in that debate. Yeah, it's just so frustrating with Wemby because I'm like, we're actually playing him good, but if he shoots like this, we just have no chance. Anyways, we're going to get more into that game later. It's just that's what's been bugging me today.
Okay. Well, what's bugging me, my rant, it's a good rant, is how I ran the table on every bet but one yesterday and how lucky I had to get on a few of them. So let's go so I had 2 hockey bets yesterday. One was a $1,000 parlay, Dallas with the Oilers. Okay, so that one was always live. My other one was the Oilers in regulation minus $1.20. Now, this is an incredible stat. This is why this is in my rant here, before yesterday's game, the Edmonton Oilers had not won one game all year where McDavid didn't get a point, number one. Number two, the Ducks, when leading after 2 periods, had not lost a game in regulation all year. And somehow I tie it up with 7 minutes to go, and I get the winning goal in regulation with 1 minute and 54 seconds to go. So instead of me losing 2,400, I won 2,000, 4,400 swing on something that has never happened to either team all year.
Mike, you know, it's funny because usually whenever you tell me this, like during football season, you're like, I hit a button to lower everything there. I'll be like, I went 10-1 today and I lost. I put it all in the last game, or I went 1-9 and I won. So you always have all these crazy like stats. So you actually won every game but one and won.
And the one I didn't win. Wait. Listen to the one I didn't win. I had 1,000 on the Minnesota Timberwolves money line first half. The score was 64-56 with 1 minute to go in the first half in favor of Minnesota. They get a 3 with with 54 seconds to go to cut it to 5. They turn the ball over. They get a 2 to cut it to 3. Now, Minnesota is holding for the last shot. And with 2.4 seconds to go, they call traveling on Ant Edwards. First of all, the league never calls traveling on anybody.
Right.
Okay. But it was traveling for sure. They inbound it to Murray. He throws up a 3/4 court shot, swish. Tie game, 64-64. Cost me $1,800.
Wow, that's a bad one, actually.
That was unbelievable.
That's really bad.
But I did win all my bets yesterday. I had 1,000 on. Oh, actually, I didn't win all my bets. I had 1,000 on the Knicks. They lost. But other than that, I had whatever. I had 2,000 on Cleveland -8. The line moved to 9.5. It landed 11, but I don't think I was really ever in danger in that game. At the end, they could have missed and made a 3 and got a push. Won that for 2K. I had 2K on Minnesota, 1K on Minnesota first half, and 1K Minnesota money line first half, right? And I had 1K on Ant Edwards over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So I win both my $1,000 hockey parlay, my $2,000 miracle Edmonton Oilers in regulation, and I lose 1,000 on the Knicks, but win 2,000 on Cleveland and win 2,000 on. I win 3,000 on the Denver game. And everybody was asking me, "How are you taking Denver? How are you taking Minnesota? Denver's playing so good." I said, "I don't know. I just got a feeling," and the feeling had a lot to do with how they played them last year. So, and the year before. So in 14 games, in 2 years, Minnesota's up 4-3 and 4-3. So they've beaten them 8-6, but the difference has been 5 points. And so they play this team tough, and the line opened 6.5 and it went to 7.5. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is a really must-win game, and I think Edwards is going to be much better, which he was. He still said I sucked. I was 10 of 25 from the field, but the thing is when he took it to the rack, they were unbeatable. Like the only time Denver really went on runs is when Edwards would shoot a 3 and miss, and then they'd go running.
I think Minnesota matches up really well with Denver. They have kind of for a few years now. They give them all sorts of trouble. I like your side because Woodley is our big Minnesota. He's not here today, but he's our big Minnesota guy. And he's like, we got no chance. I liked your side.
He tried to talk me out of it. He's like, Ant Edwards is injured. McDaniels is injured. They're going to get killed. And as soon as he said that, that's when I bet, because like I every time he says one of his teams, oh, we're going to win. He just becomes a homer. And I just thought he was wrong.
I agree. Also, Woodley made a good point after he realizes he loses, and he goes, the NBA regular season just means so little, and you can kind of see it in the playoffs. Like there's so few people are trying, the minutes aren't right, like it's
really we'll save that for another discussion, but it really is a disgrace. I mean, the hockey players, they kill themselves every game, even when they've already locked up playoff positioning and everything. They don't care about the fans. And when the fans stop watching, like this year, viewership was up double from the year before. So why would they change anything?
That's crazy to me that viewership was up. It felt like it was down. I mean,
yeah. And so, listen, the NBA playoffs are in full swing. We're going to talk about all the playoffs. Where will they stand after one game? And we'll do that right after the break.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
If you're listening to this podcast, you've already leveling up your betting game. You're riding along with our best bets and top angles And when there's a good game on, you're probably getting involved with a few props and alt markets too. But there's one more layer if you really want to step things up, and that's VSiN Pro. Yes, I've mentioned it before, but things are really getting better for our pro subscribers. We just rolled out Major League Baseball prop projections, breaking down some of the best edges across strikeouts, hits, home runs, and more. And that's on top of everything else pro subscribers already get, including public betting splits, expert picks, and betting guides across the sports calendar. If you haven't tried it yet, stop sleeping on it. You could get your first month up for just $9.99. First month, $9.99. Or save with the promo code POD26 on an annual subscription. Hit the link on the description and start cashing in with VSiN Pro. Okay. Well, we're going to start to go over some of the series.
Where do we start, Mike? There's some interesting series. Do we want to go with the Lakers, my Blazers, or do we want to start a little distant? What do you think?
I'm going to sit there, and I watched every game this weekend, okay? Like every game.
Glued. I like it.
I know this is going to sound squarey, what I'm about to tell you, but with about 2 weeks to go in the season, I noticed that all the tanking teams, you were just not even showing up at all. And after like a few days, I started betting a couple thousand on every favorite on the board. And the last like 5 days, I think I went like 60-10, some crazy stat. And
60-10.
I felt it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, I didn't bet them all because I don't want to be a square and a degen, but I was picking out like 5 games a day, and I was going 4-1. Somehow, the one that would lose for the day, or 2 that would lose, I'd have on my thing, and I was really mad that I didn't bet just every favorite every day because it was absolutely a joke. It was Hellmuth heaven, we could call it, and yes. But I noticed it now. Going into the playoffs, and this has happened to me every year, so this wasn't just about all the square and all the favorites come in the last 2 weeks of the season, which, by the way, I think that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I only beat it for about 10 units, and I feel like I screwed up because there'll never be an opportunity where every team is 23-point favorites and they win by 35 every day. There was one day, right, with about a week to go in the season, where they had 7 games. All 7 favorites won by an average of 24.4 favorite a game. Wow. And I was parlaying like $300 5-team parlays that paid like 9,000-10,000, right? 5, 6, 7, 8-team parlays. And I was going 7-1 every day in this. And the only day, and I wish I would have started doing it before the one day that all the favorites went 7-0 straight up and against the spread. Like 17 parlay for 300 pays like 35,000 or 45,000, some ridiculous number. And it was, I really felt I let a once in a lifetime opportunity go by. But that was that. And so now we jump into the playoffs, and I really felt this year that the chalk in the East and the chalk in the West are going to win easily.
I kind of agree.
Now, I started off on Saturday, and I won every game. And going into yesterday, home teams were 7-1 straight up and 7-1 against the spread. And the only team on the road that covered and won was a game that I actually bet 2,000 on, which was Orlando against Detroit. And the thing about, and I'll go into why I took them. So day one, I went chalk. They all covered easily, right? And also, like I said, I took Orlando. Why did I take Orlando? Well, I had Orlando. I really thought Orlando was coming on strong at the end of the year. They won 7 straight to end of the year, and then they somehow blow the game to who'd they lose to? To Philly. So instead of they blew the game to Boston on the last game of the season where Boston wasn't even playing their top 8 players. And now Philly had home court against Orlando instead of Orlando having home court for the play-in game. And so I bet Orlando that game against Philly, and they just looked as bad as they did against Boston, right? And I said to myself, well, I mean, maybe they don't want to play Boston in the round 1. Like Boston's got Tatum back, and Boston's been the hottest team in the East, where everybody's been saying the whole offseason or the whole last month, is Detroit for real? Yeah, they're the 1 seed, but beside Cade, can they really match up in the playoffs? And I felt, nah, I don't think so. And so when Orlando now lost to Philly, and then they played Charlotte, right? And that game, I never bet over 2K game.
That one surprised me.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I bet that game. I ended up betting 3,000 on that game, and I had Orlando, and they never even sweated. And this is why. Okay, I mean, you could say this is conspiratorial or not, but I watched the team grenade the Boston playing the bottom 7 of their thing. I watched them look horrible against Philly, and then I said to myself, "Well, they're going to get in, right?" I'm like, and all I kept thinking about was how the NBA fucked Miami the day before by. When Ball trips up Bam Adebayo and rips his shoe from under almost and knocks him out of the game, but doesn't even get a foul at the time, let alone a technical. Didn't even get a foul. And Ball ends up getting the winning shot in overtime. And if the referees call a foul there and they look at it and they see him grab his leg,
flagrant.
He'd been kicked out of the game.
Maybe
100% ejection. You can't do that.
You got to be able to, by the way, they need a rule change. You got to be able, if everybody's looking down the other way, but somebody gets laid out on the other end of the court, that has to be a challengeable thing. I mean, you know what I mean? That was pretty bad what Paul did.
And after the game, the Miami coach was livid. You know, this guy wasn't a foul on him. Even if a foul was called, the game went to overtime. A technical free throw, they would by whatever.
Right. Well, flagrant for sure. I mean, that's without question. It's a flagrant.
But they would have kicked him out of the game. And I said to myself, the NBA is not going to allow this team that should not have been in if the referees made the right call to go in to Orlando and beat them. And
I don't agree with that. That's a little too conspiratorial.
It was. I said.
Me. Well, I know you said it. You prefaced it.
But as it turns out, it wouldn't have mattered because they kicked the shit out of them.
Okay, so let's lead in with this game first. Orlando at Detroit. The line is -8.5 on Detroit. I kind of like Orlando to keep it close.
You're talking about today?
That's Wednesday. So we're filming on Tuesday. This won't be out till the Wednesday game. So that's tomorrow's game.
Oh, well, that game was then bet down because it was 9.5 yesterday.
That's 8.5 what I see now. Okay. There might be some 9.5.
No, that's good to hear. I mean, I'll go look at them here in a second. So I win this game with literally my biggest bet all year, 3,000 I had on them. And now we go into game 1. Okay, like I said, I took every favorite on the board on Saturday, and I took, and then I had the Orlando as my dog, and I said to myself, well, everybody's healthy for Orlando now, right? I'm like, if Banchero could play like he did against Charlotte, and which he was so bad in the 2 games before against Philly and against Boston, if he could just show up and be decent and Suggs could keep playing well, they have a chance. And finally, like all 3 of them caught fire. Franz Wagner caught fire. Suggs caught fire 5 of 6 from 3-point line. And they took it to Detroit. And
it did. I watched that game very closely. I was with a Pistons
fan.
They
never had the lead. They never had the lead, Detroit, at home. In a playoff game.
I'll tell you, if there's one I'm really worried about, you know how we said we like all the chalk? I'm a little worried for the Pistons. I don't think that was as fluky as
I don't either.
As you might think.
I don't think, and I think I'm starting to think Orlando lost on purpose to Philly so they could play Detroit. Because what's Detroit's problem been all year, right? It's been 3-point shooting. If K doesn't hit. And Do you want to play Boston, who shoots 25 3-pointer, 29 a game, and
I'd
makes
I'd much rather play Detroit.
And I'm starting to believe they lost on purpose to play Detroit, because now, right, if they win, let's just say they beat Detroit, right, they're in that other side of the bracket against the 4-5, right?
Yeah.
And the 4-5, if I'm not mistaken, is Cleveland, Atlanta, correct? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
So,
it's I like Orlando again. I don't know if they win, but I like them to keep it close. I think it's gonna be a close game, and it could go either way.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to come out more physical in the first half. I'm leaning maybe Detroit first half, but we'll see. I'm going to do some studying and stuff. I don't just wildly bet everything just to
right.
Bet
no,
everything.
I gotcha. It's just that's going to be a fun series. Should we talk about your Lakers or my Blazers next? Because
we could talk about my Lakers. I don't think they have any chance. But there's a big but.
But
if Durant doesn't play again today, okay, the Lakers, let me ask you this. You take Durant out of the lineup, they have nobody that can shoot a fucking three, just like last year, right? Yeah. And the Lakers could win by rebounding and not turning the ball over. Well, in game one, they had 21 turnovers, and they were out-rebounded by like 10. I'm sorry, they didn't have 21 turnovers. They had like 17. They were out-rebounded by 10, but I think they caused 21 turnovers. And I'll have to look back at that. I don't want to get that. But they LeBron at age 41 just went off. Like
say they've been saving him. Now, if you want to get into conspiracy theories, have they just been saving LeBron for the playoffs?
No, because he was a perfect third. He was a great third option to score. You have Luka leading the league in scoring at 34 points a game. You have Austin Reeves averaging 25 a game. You get LeBron to play the hard defense, and that's why they went on that big winning streak. Was they had him playing the defense, scoring around 13 or 14 a game. But now LeBron needs to score. That 3-pointer he hit from like 38 feet was just money. How about in the fadeaway jumper?
You look good.
I'm sorry, but
if LeBron keeps playing like this,
the GOAT debate's fucking is over with, man. You could say, well, he really wasn't the GOAT. He just played longer at a high level.
He's definitely, if you take it longevity, he's 100% the GOAT. If you know what I mean, there's no question. If you want to do full career longevity,
he's playing. Question. He literally played 1 against 5 in game 1 and won the game. Right? He had 8 assists in the first quarter. I think he finished with 14 on the game, and go look back at the 2015 playoffs where they lost in 6 to the Warriors, where they literally had the lead going to the fourth quarter of every game, and he was without Kyrie Irving, and he was without their other best player. I forgot who it was, and he played 1-on-5 against them too.
Yeah.
If Durant don't play tonight, I'm betting the Lakers.
It's game time decision here.
And if Durant plays tonight, I'm making a big bet on Houston. They had to play the perfect game, right? They had to slow the game down because the Lakers all year have played fast because the offense has been so good through Luka. But in this game, they had to protect the paint, which they didn't do, and somehow still won. And but I've said this all year. I've said this all year. This is before Luka went down and before Reeves went down. I said, if that lazy piece of what that was on the Blazers last year and is now on the Lakers, if Ayton. He could, thank you. I was just getting to his name. I know his name, but that lazy, if he could put up 16 and 10 every game or 16 and 12 every game and block some shots, the Lakers could win it all. I said that with Luka and with the Reeves. Now, they can't, without Luka and Reeves, they can't do anything. But if he...
The problem is Ayton's the most emotional player. You want to talk about Dude, he's softer than a woman. I mean,
he's a soft.
Upset. He's like in
he's
tears
as
over
soft as
everything.
Charmin. He's like,
I mean,
okay. So when did this is really good because when did the Lakers go on their big run in the last month in March? Right, they had lost 4 straight, including losing to the Suns on the road without Booker or Brooks, and the whole world went crazy. Like, well, this team's terrible. And then what does Ayton come out and say? He says, they want me to be Clint Capella. And I'm like, yes, we want you to be prime Clint Capella. We want you to get 15 rebounds a game, score 10 points a game, get a 3 block shots a game. And that's what we want, you lazy piece of you-know-what. Yes, we want you to be prime Clint Capella. And what did he do for the month of March? He was prime Clint Capella. He was putting up like 13 and 10 every game while Luka was going off, and he was protecting the paint. Like, you're 7'3", you piece of shit. Like, get in there and block some shots, get the rebounds. And he got out rebounded by Şengün and the other guy, but he's got to be better. If he doesn't get, he needs to get 15 rebounds a game for them to have a chance. Now, if Durant don't play tonight, and he could put up 15 and 15, the Lakers will win again tonight. And they'll be up 2-0. And then Durant comes back, and they are going to win the next 2 for sure.
Maybe.
They say Luka will be back by game 6.
Wow. Is that what they're saying now?
Possibly 5. Okay. And Austin Reeves is out for the series. So
could you imagine? Hold on, Mike. Can you imagine if the Lakers somehow go up 2-0? They're gonna get Luka back. Oh man, are we talking now?
Yeah, but listen, when you have a hamstring injury, you're out of shape. You can't run on it. You can't if you have like a wrist injury, you could keep that cardio up and stay in shape. So like basketball shape, if you don't run for 5 weeks, you're gonna be. How many minutes can he really get, right? And it's not like you're getting Austin Reeves back. I mean, the Lakers lost their top 2 scorers. All
right, we got to move on. We got to go to my Blazers. I'm dying to talk Blazers basketball against the Spurs. This is the first time, Mike, all year the Blazers, other than Dame, which he's not coming back this year, other than Dame, completely healthy. They all were sitting out. I don't know what was going on, but they're all playing now. And they actually look really good. They look good. I think they're going to win a couple games. I know you don't think they're going to win a couple games. I think if Wemby shoots like I said at the start, if he keeps shooting like this, we have no shot. It's going to be over in 4 games. If he's 5 of 6 from threes, shooting 13 of 21. I mean, I don't think.
Do you really think do you think Stephon Castle's going to go 0 for the world again? Like, he had his worst game in months, and they still won and covered the spread.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing the Blazers do, we're really good defensively. I mean, Tamani Kamara, if you take out Wemby, he doesn't get it because he's a smaller name. He's arguably the best defender in the league, or first team all defense guy. We've got Klingon, the 7'2" big body who can actually shoot,
but they can't shoot. Nobody can make a 3. Like if Denny doesn't make shots. I mean, Denny was the only one that was making 3s. Nobody else would make it. Scooter made a couple, but he's got to be better. Right?
Yeah, he's got to be better. Who didn't have a good game was Drew Holiday. He's a defensive stopper. He was right along Giannis. We could play defense. We got to make our 3s. If we got to
get 14 out of Drew to have any chance. And the scary part, and this is why I don't think they have a chance, is they had that game down to 2, and they went from 2. They went from 2 to 11, and guess who wasn't on the court?
Yeah,
they did it with Wemby off the court.
I thought you were going to say somebody else, but
no, Wemby was off the court when they went from 2 to 11. That's when Vassell took over. Vassell, that's the rookie, right? I mean, he took over.
Yeah, so. It was disheartening because I really thought we played good. Anyways, on that game, I this isn't going to come out in time, but I'm going to say this again for games 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Hopefully 5 and 6. I like Blazers money line at plus 525. I don't like the points because I think even though it was kind of close on the 12 or 13 or whatever it finished. Yeah, I like Blazers money line or the Spurs to win by 30. I think it gets out of hand if Wemby starts hitting those threes. It's just over.
I mean, the Spurs, forget the last game, which I don't know why they would ever have punted that game to Denver. Like, why would you want to have to play? Why would you want to have to play Denver then OKC when you could just only have to play? I mean, whoever comes out of that if Denver wins,
you're referring to why did the Spurs when they were
tanked
favored
the last game?
They tanked when they needed it.
They had I laid 11 that game, and that was my only losing game. They lost outright.
Yeah,
it was
that
crazy.
was not smart, and especially what's going to happen in the how it lines up, because we talked about it, because they tanked on the last game. They had a 20% harder path to the finals.
I'll tell you what. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break and come back on the other side of the break. We're going to talk about updated series prices. We're going to talk about games that will be today and tomorrow. Probably won't come out in time for you to see today's games. We'll talk a little bit about the hockey playoffs, and we'll be back on the other side of the break.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Feta Sports Podcast. So we're going to look at some updated series prices, ones that really feel like, that you can actually bet. Like, you're not laying 35-1 on the Celtics. You're not laying 50-1 on the Blazers. But this is a very interesting one. The Lakers, which opened up at 575, is now minus 290 plus 235. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a diehard Laker fan. I don't think the Lakers have any chance in this series if Durant plays. Now, if Durant doesn't play today and they go down 2-0, I mean, you got to win 4 out of 5. But if the Lakers don't have Doncic back, and even if he's back, he's gonna be out of shape, like we talked about. I don't know if they could even win 2 out of the last 5. So I lean a little bit towards the Rockets at minus 280.
Wow, I see on DraftKings right now it's minus 225 Rockets.
Yeah,
I see a lot less.
This is a bad number. I always get a bad number at this site. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's minus 225 plus 185 on the comeback. That's on DraftKings.
I mean, how could this only be 2-1 unless they really are sure Durant's missing tonight? And even if he misses tonight, I mean, the Lakers had to play a perfect game, and LeBron had to play.
I don't think Durant is going to play tonight, and I still think the Rockets are going to win the series.
I do too. And I'm a diehard Laker fan.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of fun to have the Lakers win, but just for you and our group chats. But
so, and there's 2 other updated series prices that are bettable. The Knicks are this has minus 195. You could probably get better.
I see minus 185 plus 155. I'm just looking at DraftKings.
I mean, do you really think that an Atlanta team with CJ McCollum, who's almost as old as me, putting up 35 every game? I mean,
like 34. He's okay.
I know. I thought he was a lot older. Me and Ben thought he was like 38.
CJ can shoot, man. I watched him in Portland forever. I know he's older now, a lot more miles. But man, he is, when the playoffs came around, CJ McCollum plays ball. He's locked in. He's not partying every night. CJ is the guy you want, like, in the NBA, like role model guy.
I didn't watch much Atlanta, so I went back and looked at their big run in March, and all their wins except for like 2, they were like 19-3, were against the bottom 4 teams in the East. So I'm like, I just don't think they're that good. And I have a friend who books big money, and he asked me if I wanted any, and this is in game 1, do I want any Atlanta money line? Because he has a friend, he has somebody that bet to win like 200 on Knicks money line. And I said, I don't want any Atlanta. Yeah. I looked at who they played, and I just don't think they played anybody. And then the first game, they kicked the shit out of them. And in game 2, I mean,
they won. I don't know about kicked.
They beat them and covered easy in game 1. And then game 2, they led by 12 going to the 4th. And
sorry, game 1 you're saying. I thought
game 1. That was game 1. Somebody bet big on Knicks money line. And game 2, they were up 12 going, and they went. What'd they go? 2 for like 19 from the field and scored like 9 points in the fourth. I think they scored 11 points in the quarter.
The Hawks are playing good ball. I just don't think they pull it out against the Knicks.
I don't
They might
either.
be a year away. I think they're a year away.
I mean, the Knicks are loaded. They're not going to just give it. I think 185 is a pretty cheap price for that. And the Nuggets still being 235 favorites. You can still get 2-1 on Minnesota with home court advantage. I mean, boy, if Rudy Gobert keeps playing this way against Joker, I mean, they got a shot, right?
Yeah, that series is going to be tight. Minnesota just plays them tough. I don't know who I like. I don't know who I like on that one.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, that was tough. That's tough. I have no opinion.
8-6, 5-point differential going into this series, and now they're they're almost dead even in points, and it's like 9-7. So I think there's a little value there in Minnesota. I hope not, because I put a big parlay together with all the top seeds, not excluding Orlando. So I bet like 2,000 will win like 4,000 on the 7 of the 8 chalks. Orlando, I stayed away from because, like I said, I know Orlando was built to win this year. They came on strong at the end of the year. They had injuries all year. And so that's my thought process.
Right.
So let's talk about a little bit of hockey for the fans out there. Let's talk, this is the first thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about the Buffalo Sabres. So the reason why I'm going to bring this up.
Hold on. Have you seen how excited they get in Buffalo when they score?
This is why I want to bring it up. I saw this stat yesterday. During the USA Gold Cup that they won, the gold medal game, the Buffalo area was the most watched area of the entire Olympics. Okay.
Right. Like per capita,
every year since 2015, the Stanley Cup Finals most watched in the Buffalo area. So basically, they said Buffalo has the #1 fans of hockey anywhere in the world. Think about that for a minute.
Well, you're in the USA. You mean?
Anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yes.
I can't believe it. It's like Montreal and some of those real diehards.
Yes, they're more watched. They're more in Buffalo. So now that the Sabres have the #1 seed, and they just turned it on. You saw what they did in the first period. Like,
when was the last time? First off, did I hear this right? Was it 2011?
11.
Since they made the Buffalo Sabres have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And man, I was watching the highlights on Twitter and just watching when the Sabres scored. Mike, have you ever seen that? Might be the greatest response I've ever seen. I mean, they went bonkers. The roof was about to come off. It was really good and exciting to see that much passion. That's about it. The most passion you will ever see is the Sabres scoring goals.
And their second best player is Alex Tuck. He was the main piece in the trade for that we got. What's our center's name? I'm having a brain fart.
I don't know
for
who
Vegas.
Is. Oh,
Vegas. So hold on a second. But
no, but it's kind of fun. Like, I promise you, Buffalo Sabres hockey has never been talked about on this podcast before, and hopefully we can bring it up at least for a minute every week. It was pretty fun to watch the highlights. If you haven't seen them, you got to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Eichel. So the big Jack Eichel trade, we gave him Alex Tuck and 2 draft picks, and Alex Tuck he's the second best player on their team, and he's playing phenomenal. And it'd be nice to see Buffalo maybe get out of the East. Here's interesting. Like, Vegas was left to die this year. Their goaltending was horrible. The defense was horrible. They couldn't beat a playoff team. I think they lost 11 straight games to playoff teams. They fired the coach with 8 games to go in the year. And the substitute coach changes goalies. He puts Kerry Hart in. He used to coach Kerry Hart when he was a Philadelphia Flyers coach. And they go 7-0-1. And their only losing game that they lost was to Seattle, because I had 2,000 on that game, so I know. And that Seattle, and they were up 3-1 in the third period, and they gave up 2 goals in the last 6 minutes. And they lost in a shootout. So basically, they haven't lost a game in regulation. They've now gone 8-0-1, and with a new coach. And I think they're dangerous. If Kerry Hart keeps playing like this, I mean, they're dangerous. Aiden Hill had been absolutely horrible all year, and Kerry Hart's he's healthy and he's playing great for Vegas. And Vegas has the easy bracket. You know, the Wild and Dallas are going to kill each other in a 7-game series. Vegas should beat Utah in 5, I think.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I love Vegas in that series. I mean,
yeah, I bet 2 series. I bet 3,000 minus 167 on Vegas, and to win 3,000. And I bet
was that all it was minus 167? I didn't see.
Well, it was 180. It got bet down to 167.
Oh, I love Vegas in that series.
And then I bet, so I'm gonna end up being even, because then I bet 2,000 that our good friend Ben's like, oh, the Penguins at minus 120. This is the wrong number. This should be like 160, 170. So I laid 140 on them for 2K. So they're dead. Philadelphia killed them 2 games in a row. And they had the number 1 offense in the NHL, number 3 offense in the NHL this year, the Pens. And this is the best offense Sidney Crosby's ever had. And they put up a 2, which 1 goal was with 30 seconds to go in game 1, and a 0. So that game looks dead. And, you know, that's really the only series I'm really watching, kind of.
Golden Knights and I'm sure you can find better spreads than this, but as I'm just looking at DraftKings, minus 320 now, Utah plus 250. Absolutely love Vegas. I know it's a lot to lay, but I really think they roll in that series.
Yeah, I mean, I laid 167, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you got a great price. And by the way, we were just talking about the Sabres. I hadn't looked at this yet. They're minus 320 against the Bruins. That's just really good to see.
I mean, right.
I mean, that's the feel good team of all the playoffs right there.
Yeah, rightfully so, you know. So anyway, so we're going to let's talk about these games on Wednesday. That'll be tomorrow and Thursday. We've already talked about this. We have the Pistons open 9.5. They got bet down to 8.5.
Go to Thursday's games because we've already talked about Wednesdays.
The OKC minus 17 against the Suns. The Suns are without their center, which is allowed. Just the size of OKC is so big. But I don't know. I mean,
I think we disagree on that. I love the Thunder to absolutely win in 4. I think they're
going to win in 4, but you're laying 17. You're laying 17 in the NBA.
And I think they're going to win by 35. This is a complete mismatch. Yes, I know Phoenix is pesky. The Thunder are just on another level. I don't think they can compete. It's maybe I'm wrong and they sneak a game or something. And
they're not sneaking any games. They're getting beaten.
I agree. There's no sneaking.
I do think they cover this game. And it's they were very tired going into this game. They had to play two games to get into the playoffs, 2 brutal games. Like they literally gave away the game Portland, to Portland. Like they led by 8 with 4 minutes to go and somehow found a way to lose. And then they had to, they played a brutal game against the Warriors. The Warriors were out of gas. So that was they had 2 brutal games with only 1 day off. And that's why they got beat so much. I know they don't have size. They're not winning this game. But I think the Suns, and I'm a favorite. I've been betting all the favorites. I think the Suns cover this game. We go to Thursday's game. The Knicks and Hawks are pick 'em. I'm sorry. I watched the Knicks just control both games, and they gave away the last game. I'm jumping back on the Knicks. And if I lose game 3,
I think the Knicks. I'm with you. I like the Knicks. Hawks, man, if they win this one and prove it, that would be a real impressive win. That series, though, I do believe is going to go 6 or 7. I don't think the Knicks are just going to come storming through. I think they're going to play ball with them.
And now you got Cleveland. Like, did you see the stats that Brandon Ingram has put up? He yesterday he was like 2 of 12. He had 6 turnovers, shot 15% from 3, right? And he's their number 1 scorer, right? If he just gets anything going, they'd cover and maybe win. But he hasn't done anything since. I think the Cavs are for real. I don't know. Maybe Maybe you take 3 with the Raptors. I'm not touching them. Forget that.
I don't have an opinion on that game personally.
The Nuggets.
Let's take a break here real quick, Mike. We got one more break to get in. 5 minutes left.
All right, let's do it, and then we'll talk about the last game.
You're listening to Theta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Theta Sports Podcast. The last game on the sheet, Nuggets Timberwolves. They have the Nuggets at 1.5. A very interesting game here at 1.5 because, I mean, Minnesota, when they split with Denver, they actually won 2 against Denver 2 years ago, and then they somehow found a way to be up 3-0 and went to, or 3-1 and went to 7 somehow, and all that energy I think cost the Minnesota to get into the finals a couple years ago. I don't know, man. I think that I'm not laying 1.5 with the Nuggets here. So the only game I really like on Thursday is the Knicks, and that's just where
I feel like that Nuggets Timberwolves game is going to come down to the last possession. Doesn't it have that feel like who? I mean
it does. I mean, I bet a few series prices. I took Cleveland. I thought that was a complete mismatch. I also bet on the Knicks in a series, and that's really the only 2 I bet straight in the series. And then I parlayed. I'll tell you what I have here.
Yeah, let's hear your parlay. I want to hear that.
It's a pretty square.
I might copy it.
It's a pretty square parlay. I mean, it's 2,000 to win 2,654. It's the Celtics, the Spurs, the Rockets, the Knicks, and the Nuggets. And right now, the Knicks. What
was the number? Say the number one more time. It was what to win what?
Well, 2,000 to win 2,654. It's a 5-team series parlay. I felt the Celtics couldn't lose. The Spurs couldn't lose. At the time, the OKC line wasn't out yet because they didn't know who they were playing. And I threw in the Rockets because I had no idea that Kevin Durant was going to injure his knee the day before the playoffs started. And then I threw in the Knicks and the Nuggets. I'm not going to change my mind now. So I might as well say I'm going to probably bet the Nuggets in game 3.
That bet. I like that bet you made, actually. I mean, I know that even with Durant getting hurt, I really do think the Rockets pull it out.
I mean, the only one I was really kind of worried about, even though the Knicks were the lowest odds on the board, I really felt they weren't losing to Atlanta, and I still believe that, was the Nuggets. It's because Minnesota plays them so tough. But I have the Nuggets winning the NBA championship, which you might think I'm crazy because they're plus 550. But
I don't like that play at all.
I just think that this is a year they're deeper. Murray's an all-star. Okay, this is his best year he's ever had. They literally own the Spurs, right? And they took OKC to 7 last year with a team that wasn't near as good as this. So I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback because Minnesota lost last night, and say, I'm off Denver, right? I'm staying on Denver. So you know what? I'm gonna lay. I'll probably lay bad odds.
You have bad odds on your site. I got the Nuggets at plus 1,100, and this is without me even shopping. I was going to say 5-1 seems crazy. If I have to take an NBA champion right now, I as much as I think the Thunder are going to win, I can't lay minus 105. I'm going Spurs. That is my championship team as much as I want the Blazers to beat them at plus 550.
Well, who do you like at plus 550?
I like the Spurs plus 550. I think Wemby's length, it's scary length.
So when before the playoffs started, it was minus 160 OKC. And then it was plus 350 on the Spurs and plus 550 on the Nuggets. And so the reason why the Nuggets are now 11-1 is because it's one game apiece.
You got to find a site with better odds because I'm seeing way better than that.
Well, no, right? I laid this before this started. I mean, they lost home court advantage yesterday, buddy.
Well, you were just saying some lower numbers, but on all these teams. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but
just helping you out, Mike. I want you to get the best odds possible.
Oh, listen, I didn't bet them to win the NBA championship. I
Yeah.
said that's who I picked. I didn't bet anybody to win the NBA championship. I was going to see how it goes or who gets there or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of who I picked. I just feel like they have the most experience. Spurs are a little bit young, and I mean they just ran out of gas in that fourth quarter last year, Game 7 on the road. I just think they're better this year, and we'll see. So I don't want to be a money quarterback. I said I didn't really like Denver after what I saw yesterday, but I'm going to stick with them. And if they lose Game 3, I'll come back and double up on them in Game 4. I don't think they lose 2 in Minnesota. So, anyways, I'm back. It was a great podcast with you, Cantu.
Next week you'll have 2 good eyes, Mike, not just one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is next week. Next week is my surgery is Tuesday, so I cannot do, we will record on Wednesday, or possibly Monday. And we'll see what's going on. And we're going to make some adjustments to the show. And
Sweet.
We will see you next week on the Theta Sports Podcast. Go Vegas Golden Knights, go Lakers.
And go Blazers.
I'd rather lose my 2K parlay and have the Lakers win that series and get everybody back for round 2 and see what they could do.
Yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun if they do somehow win that.
All righty. Have a good one, you guys. Take care.